Architecture is a great opportunity for us to reflect Christ's redemption by redeeming and cultivating sites, the physical, natural world, and also contribute to restoring relationships in communities. There's a lot of the built environment that is not doing that. There's a lot that is alienating and uninviting and unwelcoming. There's a lot of ugliness. And we have an opportunity to be a counterculture to that. We have a different understanding of both people and place, their eternal significance and their eternal future.
To actually create spaces that in some ways almost awaken the senses of people. As an architect, that's exciting, but as a Christian, combined with a word to actually elevate people's souls to the one who has made all is just so exciting to think on. In terms of the architecture, having worked on many projects and know that many developers look for an opportunity to remove the old, what I found really interesting was that here the old had been respected and had been cultivated to be new, but the new part of the building also complemented and respected the history of the old. But the way that they came together was to actually create this light-filled atrium and this light pouring down between the old and the new. And it created a beautiful opportunity just to meet and reflect before I went in and met the principal for the first time. But what surprised me the most, and we've worked on many institutional buildings, was the positioning of where the principal was. We are used to people in education wanting to elevate themselves to high in the building as for the prestige. And people often, when you're briefing them, will say, "Where's my office? Where am I going?" But here was the office of the principal that I was meeting, down on the ground beside the foyer door, so that he could see me come in and welcome me. And for me, that was a tangible reflection of what was actually written on the wall, Christ for all of life, here to welcome people and to shepherd them through as Christ would lead. The other area that I found really interesting was the positioning of the library, typically put on ground so that students could come and engage, where here it was actually put at the top of the building. And the bottom areas of the ground are the social engagement spaces and the worship. My thoughts on in that moment were, that's an interesting position, that's not where we would typically be briefed. And it was interesting that the knowledge in the books, the head knowledge, is to filter down through the teaching, which is in the centre, down into the worship, to feel the hearts to go out. And I've thought of this many times as I've sat here. Many of the study positions and you're looking out through the window. And I've just thought, I hope that the knowledge and the equipping that is being taught here in the students is being reflected on as they both read, to look up and just look out and actually see that the reason why you're reading this and the reason why you're reading Equipped is to actually equip those people out in the world.
We also could see from the positioning of the social gathering spaces being quite open down on the ground level. As you enter, there's a garden, and the dining space opens out onto that garden, and beside that the lecture theatre, which also is open for public lectures, and then this grand light-filled atrium. And what we could see about that was that there was a real intention in the architecture of conveying the gospel welcome to the community, that this building was not closed off, that the life of the students, the activity, the social hub was on display for people to see, but also a welcoming gesture to invite people in to the life of the college, which was really encouraging to see that gospel welcome translated into the architecture.